As discussed in the previous part of this video about classification of different animals on the basis of their feeding habits. Today we would be taking one more topic of this chapter. Topics that would be covered today: food chain. Food chain. As you can see in the picture, there is a grasshopper. You must be wondering, what does a grasshopper feed on? So grasshopper feeds on grass. So it seems that food chain is a connection that connects different organisms to each other, or rather they are dependent on each other based on their eating habits. Have you ever thought what would happen if the grasshoppers eat all the grass present on earth? Think about it. Will all the grasshoppers die after some time due to starvation? Imagine when they don't have any grass left. Will they die because of starving? Perhaps yes. But does this really happen that way? No, it does not. Let's look at the things, how they actually takes place. Grass never gets finished and all grasshoppers never die. But how does this thing happen? As you can see that the number of grasshoppers is less in comparison to the amount of grass. Some grasshoppers die due to starvation, while some are eaten by frogs to leave enough grass for the rest. In this way, grass never gets finished and all grasshoppers never die at one go due to food shortage. Similarly, some frogs are eaten by snakes and some snakes are eaten by eagle. This is nature's way to maintain the balance of life on earth and is called the food chain. Let's look at the food chain from the very beginning. Plants, as we know, are known as producers. Why? Because they prepare their food on their own using sunlight, water, carbon dioxide, and they prepare their food by the process of photosynthesis. Now, these grasses are eaten by grasshoppers, and some grasshoppers are eaten by frog, and some frogs are eaten by snakes, and some snakes are eaten by eagle. So as you can see that each one of them are interdependent on each other for their food. Grasshoppers, frog, snake, eagle. Four of these are some of the examples of consumers. How? Because they consume their food from the producers, whether directly or indirectly. This entire interdependence of organisms on each other for their food habits is known as food chain. So all in all, what we have learned today, let's recap. All living organisms are interdependent for food. All food chain start with plants or producers. Green plants make their food on their own and are called producers. All animals that depend on plants for food, such as herbivores and others that feed on herbivores, such as carnivores and some other scavengers, are called consumers. Food chain shows interdependency in a particular environment among organisms. Hope you all were able to understand about food chain. Thank you so much for watching the video.